What's poppin', y'all? I think it's about time we have to show Lil Tecca some respect. I mean, granted, we've been showing him respect, but he needs more props than he gets. Because recently he just dropped an album. It was Tech, new album. It was a good album. I actually really enjoyed this album. What's my favorite track off of this? Let me pull that up for you guys. I think I posted it on my Instagram at helloyassine on IG. There was a couple. Dead or Alive is probably one of my favorite songs. The last album, y'all already know, No Discussion was my favorite track off that. I still just show that song to random people. Short song, it was under 10 minutes or under 2 minutes, but I love that song so much. Short, sweet, to the point. I play it all the time. We got a lot of Lil Tecca on this. There's only the same criticism that I usually have is I kind of wish he would like reflect a little bit more in his music, but I mean, he's doing the damn thing. Like, this is quality music. It's one of the better albums that have been put out this year. He's maturing in both his sound and subject matter. Granted, he's always been mature as an artist. Now, the reason why we got to show him some respect is he sold 45K or so. He's been selling 30 in the 30s. The first project, which was We Love You Tecca, which was the breakout, that was in 2019. 4 years ago, that sold around 60, I think. And then did Virgo World sell more? No, it sold less than that, or somewhere not too much less. Then he was doing in the 30s. So if you go from the 30s several years ago to in the 40s now, that's a massive improvement. Because we got to grade it on a curve. You know, there's inflation, right? $1 today is not $1 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago. Hell. So the fact that he improved is a significant improvement. He hasn't fell off. And this is where we got to circle back. Lil Tecca came in the game 2019. A lot of people thought he was going to fall off. I will raise my hand. I didn't say that he was going to fall off, but I said he came in as a gimmick artist. Like, Ransom was partially a gimmick. Now, that doesn't mean the music wasn't good, and I've clarified this too. I've said this in videos in the past as well and on the main channel. He had to do something to make sure that he wasn't just known as a gimmick, and he's done that. I mean, he's gotten a lot of respect from all of the upcoming artists. He, I wouldn't say created this whole new wave, but he helped propel a lot of people in this new wave. He's kind of like what Chief Keef did in a way, but for a lot of these SoundCloud artists that have that type of sound. And he helped these guys out a lot. He produced that Sofago hit, or one of the first hits, I think, that really put him on the map. So Tecca has done everything right. His shows have been selling out with actual big venues. And people say, oh, this guy's got a sold out tour. Yeah, there's 200 people at the show. I would sincerely hope it's sold out, but he's been selling out shows. This is like some Sally sells seashells thing. He's been selling out shows with at least 1,500, sometimes several thousand, depending on the venue, both in Europe and the USA. But the reason why we got to circle back to 2019 is we got to see how he did amongst his peers, right? So Lil Tecca blew up in 2019. Some other artists that blew up in 2019, DaBaby, who's selling what now? I think his last project was 16K, and DaBaby saw bigger heights than Lil Tecca ever saw mainstream. He had number one. Does that mean DaBaby's making less money or whatever? That's not the point here. The point is, what he's currently selling, are people currently paying attention to him, and their kind of core fan base. So Lil Tecca is ahead of DaBaby. He just outsold DaBaby probably by multiple fold. Granted, some people will say, you know, DaBaby had a lot of PR issues. Some will say that he's kind of blackballed. I don't necessarily believe the latter. The former is 100%. Can't dispute that. But he's doing significantly well. Some people will say DaBaby blew up 2018, but I would say 2019 for sure. Roddy Ricch took off in 2019. Roddy Ricch hasn't dropped in... I think he just dropped last year, but people aren't really paying attention to Roddy Ricch like that. I think he's still got his core fan base, but he's up there, right? Like, you wouldn't say Lil Tecca fell off right now. Like, we're saying he's still on the rise. Roddy Ricch, the perception of Roddy Ricch is that he fell off, which isn't a great perception. Now, people did say his last project was good. I think I did listen to the last project, but I don't remember checking it out. But the problem is that people aren't really paying attention to Roddy Ricch like that. And when you're as big as Roddy Ricch was, you need that, or it feels like you fell off, even though that's not necessarily the case. Polo G, another example. Polo G ran into the whole Piano G thing. He's been back and forth. I don't know if he's dropped this year yet. I feel like Polo G's supposed to be a lot bigger than he is. I like Polo G's music. Disregarding what Polo G decided to come after me one day. It's okay, Polo G. I forgive you for that. It was an impulsive act. I didn't put this out in public or anything. I'm not going to talk too much about it. But yeah, Polo G was kind of just wilding out on me, which kind of like bothered me because I'm like, damn, Polo G, I was showing you respect with the Piano G thing. I wasn't even one of the people saying that. I was giving him credit, and you come after me when there's a little bit of criticism or a little bit of jokes. Polo G, he's up in the air right now. I don't really know the temperature check on him or the perception. I don't see as many Polo G fans as I did several years ago. And I think Polo G's head got gassed up with people calling him the GOAT. They're putting W's in front of it. I think that's the first time I really actively saw W's in front of stuff. They were like, yo, Wolo G, Wolo G. I was like, what the hell are these people doing? I don't see that much of that anymore, or at all. Maybe they migrated somewhere else. However, I still do see Tecca fans on social media here and there, and they're showing a lot of love. And when I post Lil Tecca, the stuff goes up. Depending on like if it's a post of him performing or whatever, it booms. So people, I would say, Polo G sold like 100+K. So we can't really compare. But he's keeping up with Polo G, right? He's improving. Polo G is, some people would say, he's regressing. That's part of his class. NLE Choppa. Lil Tecca is definitely bigger than oh my goodness, yo, I can't even speak. We're not cutting that out. Lil Tecca is definitely bigger than NLE Choppa right now, music-wise. NLE Choppa as a brand and social figure and kind of clout currency of influencers and social media, I would say he's bigger as a brand because he's out there a lot more. He's more outspoken. He does a bunch more interviews. That's just kind of the nature of it. He's got that personality. He's a likable guy. He's funny, plays along. So I would say in that respect, but strictly musically, I would say Lil Tecca is ahead of him right now, and he's outselling him. Now people will say, well, there's types of distribution. There's arguments to be made, but I would put Lil Tecca musically popularity above NLE Choppa, and he sold more than him. Blueface, I mean, are we even going to entertain that? Blueface is musically irrelevant, and I said that like day one he would be. Lil TJ, this is interesting. I think Lil TJ's most recent album, it was a pretty good album. It sold some 20-something K, and he's gone through a lot of things that were favorable to his career, not necessarily his life. Like obviously getting shot several times, I think it was 7 times, is definitely not good for your life. However, it generates a bunch of attention, and that kind of stuff just helps in the entertainment game. So that's what happened to Lil TJ. Lil TJ has had smash hits, Calling My Name. Lil Tecca hasn't had a hit in several years. Albums wise, I mean, he damn near doubled his sales. I think Lil TJ was supposed to do 22. He ended up doing 24 or something like that. Lil Tecca is doing more than that. I don't know what a TJ tour is looking like. Has TJ been on tour for that album? I didn't even see posts of shows from him at the tour. So I don't know what's going on with TJ. I would put Lil Tecca, popularity, music-wise, litness, progression, I would put him as having progressed ahead of Lil TJ. That's just what I see. Rod Wave, he blew up kind of in 2019 too. Yeah, Rod Wave is actually blowing out every single one of these guys out of the water. It's not even a competition. Rod Wave is in his own lane and he's dominating it. This guy's selling out the Barclays Center. We can't even put him in the same conversation as any of these people. So yeah, shout out to Rod Wave. I like that guy. Fabio Foreign. Lil Tecca is more lit than Fabio Foreign. I mean, Fabio Foreign has had crazy looks like the Ye album, the song with, that wasn't Hurricane. You guys know what I'm talking about. It was the song with Playboy Cardi off the something. I can't believe I'm forgetting that off the top of my head. My recall is getting poor, man. What's going on? Fabio Foreign, he's definitely not as lit as Lil Tecca right now, or as strong of a fan base, because Lil Tecca isn't necessarily lit, but there's that strong base that doesn't have to be vocal for you to know that they're supporting, because when he drops, they're there. And when there's excitement for a drop or he's teasing something, they're there. So all of these peers, who a lot of these guys, Blueface kind of got on because of a gimmick. So Lil Tecca was planned. People were like, man, this guy's going to fail. He came off the tail end of the 2017, 2018 gimmick rappers, or those weren't gimmick rappers. Those were joke rappers. So people kind of put him in that little box. They were like, man, what are we going to see from him? He doesn't do too much press. He kind of stays in his own lane. Is he going to fall off? And he proved all that wrong. So we have to show Lil Tecca some respect on top of dropping good music. So yeah, shout out to Lil Tecca. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, especially about the comparisons I made from the people that blew up in 2019. If you disagree with any, please, I encourage you to mouth off in the comment section. I like to hear all good arguments, especially those against me, actually. Like and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.